That is Rock Eagle up in Eatonton. Yeah. We do not have a what exactly Rock Eagle was used for. We know that it was built by a group of prehistoric people, people that used to live here. We're not certain. We're not sure. So we don't know if it was some sort of religious icon. Was it a place where they gathered to conduct ceremonies or tribal ceremonies? The reason we don't know is people didn't write that kind of stuff down. Why? Because they didn't know how to write. Writing. So these people that we're going to begin discussing today are considered to be for our central question for today is what were the major characteristics and time paleo, woodland, and Mississippian periods? We're going to talk about 4 different time periods in our discussion of, and we're going to see 4 distinct, very distinct during these periods. With that being said, let's just jump in it. Let's just do it. There you go. So we've talked before that prehistory is what? Yeah, it's writing, isn't it? The difference between the two is one is before writing, history is after writing. The records. When man learned, changed everything. Those who came after. Which one of y'all did that? So, history again. History, therefore, is written record. Prehistory is for written records. Now, I said earlier that we do not know what rock was built. Pretty much all we know for certain is that it was built. And where it was built from. Rock. We don't know if the little aliens came down and built it for the Native Americans. Because it is, when you look at it, when you get above it and you look at it, obviously had an understanding of math, because that's how you do things like that. But for certain, because we don't have anything written down. But what we do have are clues. We have things that were left behind. We have artifacts, man-made relics, pottery, arrowhead, cave markings, dwellings, all sorts of things that we have, and we can look at them, we can examine them. But even then, we're just guessing. We don't really know. Ecofacts are natural relics, shark's teeth, fossils. Why we know that the coastal plain was covered with the ocean? Because of ecofacts. We have found fossils be there. They are. Let me get you to think about it in a different way. What is a scientific law? I don't want an example. I want you to tell me what a scientific law is.
I knew this law. The law of superposition, which means.
Okay, don't give me an example.
The artifacts in higher levels of rock are younger than the artifacts in lower
Okay. Don't give me an example. Give me a definition for scientific law. Veronica? Okay, the rules of science. What? I'm gonna have to talk to Major Grimes. Okay. A scientific law is time. An example. Same thing. 100 times. What's going to happen to it? It's going to hit the floor 100 times. Newton's law of gravity. Johann Kepler's law of planets revolve in and not a circle. Those are laws. You cannot prove them. You get the same results every time. About theory of evolution. There's a subtle difference there. Is it the law of evolution? What's the difference?
Theory has evidence to back it up, but doesn't have 100% certainty.
A lot of theory. Okay. So, what do y'all think the theory of
That over many years, certain animals they have to adapt and change over time. So the more food or like trying to change their habitat to survive.
Okay.
Affect them all.
Okay. And that's not a bad, this idea of adaptation, of being we're bigger than we used to be. Now, here's what the theory of evolution does not say. It species can change from one species that man evolved from ape. It's two different species. Can't happen. What it means is say we live in a very cold climate. Okay? Chances are we're going to become heavier because we need fat. We need body fat. We might become hairier. Sorry, girls. Why? Because it's to protect us. Okay? That would be over time, right? That's what but we really don't know. It's just a theory. Which I think has some credence, has some legitimacy. Again, we don't know. All right? So, I'm guessing, but it's certain. How many great or great handing down to you an oral giving you your history? We don't have an oral history from George's early days. All those people are long time. They're dead. And stories, what do you think happened to them? What about the telephone game? If I tell Veronica something and she comes back in around the room, it's going to get back to me. It'll be the same story, but the details are going to be different, right? It's going to be changed. Oral history. See, history. we embellish things. Don't we? We're telling stories. Embellish the facts. Doing what I do, I get to embellish things. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm just going to make it entertaining, I hope. All right. Here. Here's a pot. What about these? Fact. That fella had a bad. What about poop? Both. Do you not make? That's a good question. That be or what was left of it. Uh, old lake bed would be an ecofact. So, one of the things that we talked about movement, migration, and again, very connecting theme. Really, that people arrived here. Literally walked from Asia to North America using their feet. But this was an ice age. Polar cap, water, and what today we call Bering Strait. We're able to walk North America. Now, we're talking 2,000 years ago. No. 2,000 years ago, man began to move Asia onto the north. Stop in North America. Do stop. Keep going. Go into Mexico. Go into Central America. They even go to South. So, if you want to know how America were populated, they started. Um, people of Mexico, Canada, they all share common DNA. They're descendant from those original across the Bering language. Work things. How else did people move? Horses weren't around. They walked. They walked. All right. Our first period where there is called the BC, a couple of thousand. So we're looking at 1,000 years ago, roughly. is when man arrived in Georgia. We call this period the Paleo period, and all it means is very old. Paleo means very old. So when we're talking about Paleo Indians, we're talking about very old Indians. And let me remind you, you call me Paleo and I will kick you in the left knee. Hard. But again, it's simply a descriptive word. We also call this time period the Stone Age because everything, weapon, another one of our connected things, technological innovation, and even 13,000 years ago, technological innovation. ATL. It looks like it's abbreviating ATL, atlatl, was a device that was used to spear or a dart. Now, what's the advantage of that? They're hunting. A woolly mammoth is a hairy elephant. A mastodon is a bigger elephant. A bison, think American buffalo, but bigger. The ground sloth, and only gave you part of the name. It's actually the giant ground sloth. And they're huge. What's better for me? Me and my buddies, other people of the tribe, family members are out on a mammoth hunt. Is it easy to get right or to stand back? Stand back. Here's I think it's been Alaska. There was a national park ranger, one of the national parks in Alaska. He killed a bear. Might have had a 40 caliber, but 18 bear shoots him 18 times. Because it's unusual for grizzly to attack humans. He had stomach. There were 2 human beings in it. There were the remains of 2 human beings. One was a hiker that they had been reported missing. The other, nobody reported missing. Found 6 of those humans had tried to shoot him, had tried to save himself by shooting that bear, and it just made him mad. So, safer to kill a bear from distance? Absolutely. Then we want to watch. Right? The ladle becomes a very important tool, weapon, used for a period, still used in parts of the world, actually. Some African tribes would still use it. Still use the atlatl. A huge difference in the lives of the Paleo people because they are following. When the mammoth moves south during the winter, the Paleo Indians, they're following the bison because that is their food source. There is no farming. It is all hunting and gathering at this point. These are spear points period, and you'll notice they're more rounded than what you might think. Okay? And before you say it, I'm going to say this. I know it's a knife.
That's not going to kill anything.
It's not going to be used to kill. It's going to be used to cut. So they would show. I was watching, there's a program on the History Channel called Alone, out in the wilderness with a minimum supply. But there's another program, and they put two people together. They put a team of 3 together, but they have nothing except the clothes on their back. And believe it or not, they were finding stones that they could put an edge to. They're given, right before they're put into wherever they are, somebody shoots a big mammal and leaves it for them. But they have to dress it. They have to cut it open, take the guts out, butcher the meat, and they're going to do it with a stone knife. But that's what they did. And if you stop and think about it, that's pretty smart. To cutting. The one on the top is actually a scraper. It would also have an edge to it. They would scrape animal hide. They'd scrape the fat off so it wouldn't stink, so they could cure it. All right. Here's the atlatl. And that mastodon that mammoth is much further away than you might think because he would be much bigger than that. And again, that Native American is using the atlatl, that technological innovation, to make life easier. And I think we're going to stop right there because I don't want to get ahead. We could go on, but I'm not. I'll give you a few minutes to just be you.